What is up, guys? Still Twins back at you with another video. Just saw the Steelers and Panthers game. Steelers beat them 39-24, I believe it was. Excuse me if I got the score right or wrong. It's 11 o'clock right now. I'm tired as heck. Me and him have had an exhausting day.
Yeah.
But we beat them 39-24, I believe it was. Offense looked very good. Defense performed well. You know, it was a great performance overall by this team, and we finished the preseason 3-1. Even though it doesn't matter, still nice to have a little bit of momentum heading to the regular season.
Well, depending on who you talk to, because look at the Browns last year.
True, but we're not the Browns.
Yeah, of course. Thankfully, by the way. But anyway, yeah, I totally agree, and a few players really made strong cases to make either the 53 and possibly even the practice squad. And one of them, and let's address the elephant in the room. Joshua freaking Dobbs.
Obviously, there was news broke yesterday that he was placed on the trade block, and a lot of teams have shown a whole lot of interest in him.
And tonight, holy hell, man! This is his best performance to date. And in my honest opinion, I doubt that we're in the minority here. We have to keep Dobbs. We have to.
I'm sorry, but he's too good to get rid of. I mean, yeah, we could get something good out of him, but what, a 6th-round pick?
Yeah, exactly, because he's only been in the NFL 1 year. He's very inexperienced, and now that could come into effect why we might not keep him or why he may not be the number 2. But honestly, if it was still up to me, I would keep all 4 quarterbacks specifically because it would help Rudolph and Dobbs develop together.
Exactly.
But Dobbs, man, we can't lose him.
Like, seriously, you look at him. I mean, you look at how Landry Jones has played, ever since he's been with the Steelers. And you look how Joshua Dobbs played, not only tonight's game, but the entire preseason. Who are you going to select, really?
Exactly.
I'm being real with you guys. Landry Jones has received multiple freaking opportunities time and time again. He's even played with our freaking key starters, and he ain't done crap.
Exactly.
And Joshua Dobbs is able to do that with just backups. Imagine what he can do with our starters.
Exactly.
The guy's loaded with talent. He's a complete dual threat. He's very versatile. Like, come on. I know that he's very inexperienced in the NFL, but you can't let go of a guy of his freaking caliber, of his talent.
And, dude, one thing that is really sticking out about him is his consistent progression, dude.
Exactly.
Seriously, his consistent progression is insane, and we shown it tonight. It's like you said, who are you going to pick? It's literally the scene from the fucking Matrix where you have the red pill in one hand and the blue pill in one hand. Who are you going to take? Dobbs or Landry? I don't care if Jones has experience. Really, honestly, in my honest opinion, that's the only thing saving him at this point.
Exactly, but that experience doesn't seem to do anything because he can't do shit. He can't even beat the fucking Browns 2 years in a row. My ad.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and honestly, in my honest opinion, it's really the players around him, like Martavis Bryant and even Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, that made him look good, quote unquote. Because, I mean, here's a few plays that really come to mind. You look at when he stepped in for the Cardinals back in 2015. Martavis Bryant, I mean, his first pass, his first completion, of course, was to Martavis Bryant, which was a touchdown. But you have Martavis Bryant, who's 6'4". It's, he's going to catch it 9 times out of 10.
Right, Antonio Brown is Antonio Brown.
Right, and then you have Martavis Bryant, that 88-yard touchdown. All he did was throw, 10 yards? Martavis Bryant did the rest. All those rack yards.
Exactly.
And then when Landry Jones came in the rest of the way, the Raiders game when Antonio Brown had, I believe it was 284 yards, receiving yards.
I think so.
He threw it short, and Antonio Brown did the rest. He didn't really do much. And then he came in against the Bengals in the playoff game. What did he do? Throw a fucking interception. It forced an injured Big Ben to come back in.
Exactly.
I'm
sorry, but Jones' experience with this team, I'm sorry.
Yes,
it doesn't seem to do anything.
And here's the thing. We're not hating on Jones because we will give him respect for being a very loyal backup.
Of course. But when it comes down to how Joshua Dobbs has played, not only tonight, but this entire preseason, like I said earlier, it's like, come on.
Exactly.
You can't let go of a guy of his caliber.
Exactly. And there's just one thing that Dobbs has shown more than Jones is progression. You can just tell Dobbs' progression. Look what he done from last year to this year, and especially this game, man.
Exactly.
I think we have to keep him. Like I said, if it was up to me, I would keep all 4 quarterbacks just to help Dobbs and Rudolph continue
develop and progress well.
Of course, and progress more.
But most likely the Steelers are not going to do that.
Yeah.
And that won't surprise me if they do, because all 4 quarterbacks are, what's the word I'm looking for? Reliable, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jones may be considered more reliable at this point, but Dobbs, like you said, just look at his progression. And now I'm not saying that he would be a better backup than Jones, but tonight he showed a lot of promise and showed a lot of signs of potentially being one and being a good backup or potential starter, because I still want to see a quarterback battle between Dobbs and Rudolph for the starting job when Ben hangs him up.
And that would only make both of them fucking better.
Exactly, and those two players are only going to get better.
Exactly.
Seriously, they are.
But Joshua Dobbs looked absolutely fantastic. A dual threat, he threw, 2 touchdowns for 151 yards.
Yeah,
I think he even got a rushing touchdown, I think it was.
Yeah, he had, and I have the stats here, 8 of 12 for 151 yards and a touchdown plus a rushing touchdown.
So it was 1 touchdown. So he had 2 total touchdowns. He's an absolute phenomenal freak.
And you see how his dual threat really helped us in that game as well, especially early on, man. You know, he looked very strong. He looked very confident. He was very elusive. He had crazy pocket awareness and composure. And he was very effective on his feet and showed a very strong arm as well.
Exactly. Another thing I want to add on Dobbs, his versatility and his dual threat ability can really help this team a lot.
Exactly, and I agree. And I think he'd be a great backup or potential starter. And really, you can't go wrong. Because we can't be in the minority when we say we want to see Rudolph and Dobbs battle it out for the quarterback spot when Ben hangs him up. Just imagine the battle. Just imagine the competition. Just imagine the fierce, and the progression that those two players would bring to each other and to themselves, man.
Absolutely.
Seriously, man. And either way, you can't go wrong because you can just see progression from both these players, especially Rudolph. He had his best game yet.
Absolutely. So Rudolph even performed well.
Yeah, and do you want to get rid of Dobbs at this point? And like he said, yeah, many people are saying we can get something good out of him, but he only has 1 year in this league. What are you going to get out of him, a 6th or 7th rounder? Honestly, I think we could get more by keeping Dobbs, and that's called progression and development.
Exactly.
And Jones, honestly, I think we could get just the same or more, honestly. I think we can get more just based on his experience as a backup and in this league.
Right, exactly.
A 5th rounder, maybe. Better than 6.
For freak's sake, Jay Ajayi was traded for a 4th round. Obviously, Leonard Jones is no caliber player like a Jay Ajayi,
of course,
but
never will be.
we could get something nice out of Jones because of his experience.
Potentially. I don't know.
That's just how I feel. I just feel like we should definitely keep Dobbs, but this game was definitely a make or break game for Joshua Dobbs, and he definitely made this game a fucking. This was a home run game for him.
Absolutely,
and I hope he does make this team.
And I want to go back to saying that Dobbs only has 1 year in this league, and you guys may be thinking, we do want him to be the backup, yes. And you guys may be saying that we say that he only has 1 year 1 year of experience in this league, but yet you want him to be the backup. Why not? Look at his progression, dude. He's only going to get better. And honestly, Ben, there is a very possible risk that he'll get injured, but with the mostly healthy offensive line and the weapons around him and the running game that he has.
And the way that Dobbs is progressing, just imagine what he could potentially do.
And the pressure off of Ben.
Exactly.
I'm very confident in this offense. And with Randy Fichtner as our offensive coordinator, that just takes a lot more pressure off of Ben because we all know what Haley did with Ben. We all know the relationship they had. So a lot of pressure is off of Ben this year.
Exactly.
So I'm confident with Dobbs at this point. He has shown a lot of great promising progression to the point where I would love to see him as the number 2.
Absolutely.
And now I'm not saying I'm very confident in him, but I think he could come in and do well.
Yeah,
and he's shown signs of being a good backup, possibly a better backup than Jones. I'm not saying he will be, but he has definitely shown many good signs.
Absolutely.
So can we really afford losing Dobbs at this point, and will we regret it in the end? More than likely. Because you look at his progression so far. Imagine, dude, this is only 1 year. Imagine if he gets like 2 or 3 more.
Exactly.
Under Ben, with Rudolph teaming with him as well.
Exactly.
Learning, just imagine the chemistry, man.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know.
But this game, Dobbs looked fantastic. Rudolph had his best game. Yeah, he threw this. During this game, Mason Rudolph threw this one apparent touchdown to Damon Patterson, which was taken back. But during that play, Damon Patterson made a great adjustment to it. Yeah, sure, the touchdown was taken back, but that just goes to show you his dedication.
And his effort in his game.
Not only to the Steelers, but to his NFL football career.
Of course, and you saw the effort in the play that he made for his game. That just shows the type of player that he is and the player that he can potentially be if he either makes roster with the practice squad, which either way you can't go wrong because he has shown a lot of promises.
He is a huge sleeper for this team.
He's shown a lot of promises preseason. So I think keeping him on the practice squad here, if he clears waivers, which is possible, then him developing on your year could do wonders for him as well. Look what he did with Dobbs.
Exactly.
So imagine what he could do with Damon Patterson.
Yeah.
So. And he also threw a touchdown to these ones count, by the way. He threw a touchdown to Quadri Henderson, who made a great touchdown catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, And there's no doubt in my mind he's making the 50, or not the 53. He's making the practice squad. And Tevin Jones, he even caught a touchdown. He actually caught 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Tevin Jones stepped up in this game. He really shows potential.
Seriously, he had a very good game. He had a surprising game, and he could even make the practice squad himself.
And I really like how these young receivers are stepping up and showing their potential. I really like
exactly, and this team needs it. The wide receiver position and the depth needs it.
Exactly.
So I'm loving how these players are stepping up and lighting the fire under their ass, man.
Exactly.
It's good to see.
And obviously we got to put Justin Hunter in there. I mean, we're not big on him. He's an inconsistent receiver, but you can't deny his size, his decent catching ability. He had a hell of a game too.
Yeah, he actually did. He had I can't remember the exact stats. I think 3 receptions, 92 yards, or something like that. Or I can't remember the exact stats, but he definitely had a good game.
Yeah, he definitely did. And he definitely got to put him in there.
Yeah, seriously, and he'll more than likely make the roster just based on his experience.
Right, but. So. I definitely hope that Hunter can step up. I really do, because I love his size. He's got decent catching ability. He can be a nice deep throw with his speed.
Exactly, and a nice red zone threat as well.
He just got to be consistent. He's got to upgrade.
Of course.
And I hope that happens.
Yeah, hopefully we see more from him. At least an upgrade from what we saw last year,
Yeah.
We're not expecting him to come out like a fucking Calvin Johnson or Jerry Rice, but, do something. Be a good backup, which he can be.
Right, exactly.
So, and another player that performed well on the offensive side of the ball was Bucky Hodges, which we were glad to see because we've been very high on Bucky Hodges since we signed him, ever since he came out of Virginia Tech.
Exactly.
Just imagine his size and speed with his offense and his deep threat ability, and his vertical threat ability, and his catching, and he's even shown promise as a run blocker as well. So.
Absolutely, he's been making some nice blocks. He actually made a great catch on this deep ball by Dobbs. It was fantastic.
Yeah, so he made some good plays early on, and I would like to see him make the roster as number 4, honestly.
But if that's if that doesn't happen, then I can definitely see him making the practice squad. He's a young buck. He's got a whole lot of potential.
Right.
His size, his catching ability, his decent blocking ability, and his age.
Yeah, and his speed, of course. And that's one thing that really worries me if we let him go and sign him to the practice squad, is that he can easily be taken.
Right.
And someone of him and his talent, it's very possible. So I think on the safe side, we might keep him as number 4, but who knows? Especially with the injuries of Vince McDonald and inconsistency of the tight end position.
And Xavier Grimble, I think he's still injured too.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, so who knows?
It wouldn't surprise me if he makes team. I actually hope he does.
Yeah, who knows though? But Bucky Hodges is a very rare talent.
Absolutely.
Who I think we can't risk to let go.
He's a very versatile guy too. Not only can he play tight end, but he can even be a good receiver at times too.
Yeah, because he can play outside as well. Like he was given to us on a silver platter almost.
Yeah.
So do we want to risk losing someone of his talent?
Yeah.
And his caliber of a player. So.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know. But we'll see what happens.
But the offense played fantastic. Now onto the defense. They look good. Obviously some mistakes, but what defense doesn't? A few missed tackles here and there. They still definitely got to improve that, but it looks like they're improving it week by week.
Right, but at the same time, today it was mostly backups, because you look at last week when we had most of our starters in, they performed great, and of course this week when we had most of our starters out, and most of our backups in, of course it's going to be a little worse. So it's nothing to get too worked up on, but the backups did do pretty decent.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of backups, these 2 players are absolutely deserving and no doubt in my mind should make the roster. And if they don't, I think it's a damn shame. Ola Sukami-Adeni and Matthew Thomas. No doubt 2 of the most shining stars of this defense this preseason and really deserve to make the roster.
Perhaps the biggest sleepers on this team overall.
Seriously. They deserve to make the roster. It seems like
Ola-Adeni is almost every preseason he's made like a big play or 2.
Yeah, every single week, every single game, he makes a play or 2. Same with Matthew Thomas. So if they definitely deserve a roster spot, and they can make a great and immediate impact on special teams and potentially build their way up to a nice backup role, especially Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. And Ola-Adeni, he made a fantastic strip sack, and Ola-Adeni. Well, not Ola-Adeni. Well, yeah, Ola-Adeni. He's a fantastic player, but Matthew Thomas, same with him. I think he actually strip sacked the quarterback as well, but he returned to 76 yards?
70,
all the way to a touchdown?
Well, he almost had a touchdown at the point, which it was preseason. They should have just given it to him, but still, it was a great play by Matthew Thomas either way, and it really shows what he can do on the field.
Exactly.
And like we said in our predicting the Steelers 53-man roster for this year's video, he is the closest to Shazier speed-wise.
Right.
And he holds a lot of attributes that Shazier kind of has, which is speed. He's 6'4", so he's got phenomenal size.
Absolutely.
His covering ability isn't too bad. He's a great tackler. You know, he's a very strong tackler.
He can be effective in the run game.
Right. So, Matthew Thomas, absolute sleeper to make this team, and he should.
Absolutely.
Absolute sleeper overall. So, I think those two players, Oladenny and Matthew Thomas, no doubt should make the roster.
Not done in my mind either.
So, seriously. And one more player that we'll get to. I mean, it's nothing major, but it was one player that many people were looking forward to watching, and that's Ryan Switzer. And let's just say that he is definitely going to fit well in Pittsburgh.
I definitely think so.
You know, he showed a lot of great speed, elusiveness, aggression, and promise as a returner.
Right.
Us. And that's something we've obviously lacked for over a decade now. And to have him in here, I think he finally found a home in Pittsburgh.
I definitely think so, too.
So I think
fantastic returner, very good receiver.
Absolutely. And he could be a great depth receiver as well, like you said. So, you know, so we'll see what happens, man. But anyway, that's our thoughts on the game. And 53-man roster is going to be confirmed around Saturday at 4 o'clock. So it's going to be a tough decision. It's going to be hard. It's a hard time. This is one of the worst times, but at the same time, one of the most exciting times because preseason's finally over. But at the same time, most people's careers and dreams mostly are killed. But you know, it's the NFL. It's business. So.
Yeah. It should be exciting, though. It really should.
Yeah, it really should. And you guys should be definitely looking forward to a reaction video to the 53-man roster being confirmed. We'll probably do a final cuts video and a 53-man roster video, which honestly we'll probably just do at the same time.
Right.
So, and depending on when the Steelers announce the practice squad, we'll probably include that in video as well. So definitely look out for that, either Saturday or Sunday or Monday, depending on, because we have a busy schedule this weekend. So hopefully we can get the video out ASAP when the news is out, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
But either way, very fun game today. Very impressive performance by most guys. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. And preseason's finally over, man. We're literally 7 days away from week 1, from the fucking Eagles and Falcons, man. Football, preseason, and you know I'm a channeling my inner broken or woken Matt Hardy. Preseason is over. So. And yes, I know we sounded completely nerdy there, but I don't fucking give a fuck. Football's finally back, baby.
I'm so excited, dude. I can't wait.
Seriously. It's back. Preseason's over. Time for some real football. Time for the real shit. It's going to be fun, man. But anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And 53-man roster should be pretty interesting to look out for. So see you guys in the next video.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace!